What's up, guys? How was the semester? Good, I hope. In this video, I just want to share with you a couple little life lessons surrounding more the structural aspects and maybe philosophical aspects of attending school and getting the most out of it that I learned this semester, because what a waste it would be to not to just go and do these 3 months of hard work and then only reflect on the material and not how I can approach this kind of hard work in the future. Life lesson 1 I would like to share with you, it almost seems a little trivial, a little annoying to hear, but I will tell you that I very much learned this even about myself, someone who I would like to consider that, I think that I put in a good effort in most areas of my life, and that is that no matter how much you may think you are doing right now, you can almost always do more, and that there is almost always someone who is in fact doing more. So how I learned this about myself this semester is I am one of those people that absolutely just detests, and I would like to say this is probably most people out there, I detest working whilst going to school. Now I live on my own, I pay my own rent, I pay for all my own food and everything, and unfortunately this semester, or almost fortunately depending on the way you would like to look at it, I had a job that paid quite well relative to the experience that was required for it and the amount of hours that I was working, and also was building a skill set, namely sales, that I would like to have on my resume. So I resolved that I worked there during the summer, and then basically when the school year approached, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get at least 6 months of this place on my resume, and let me tell you, it was hell. I was going to school for 5 days a week, and I was working 5 days a week, some days even 6 days a week, as we had a rotating Saturday shift. Now, caveat to that, I was in 3 courses, but between labs and class time, I was in class or lab for over 20 hours a week, and typically did over 20 hours a week of homework as well, and then worked anywhere from 22.5 to 27 hours a week. So what I learned is that these fundamental lines that you may draw for yourself, whether it be, I need X amount of sleep every night to be functional, I need to have X amount of free time to keep my sanity, these little barriers, these little lines in the sand that you draw for yourself not only could be pushed back probably several feet, if not miles, from where they may be standing now, but you can in fact cross those lines, even if they are at the edge of where it would be safe for short periods of time. You're probably gonna sit there and you'll be like, Spencer, I don't think so. My health is more important than my grades. And you're very correct. Your health is more important than your grades. But if you take a fundamentalist approach to those areas of your life that prevent you from really digging in to what you need to be doing at certain times of your life, then you will never be able to be as successful as you could possibly be. Lesson number 2 I would like to share with you that I feel I learned a little bit about over this previous semester is that in order to succeed in your courses, you are going to have to play ball. Particularly ball with the professor and the TAs of that course. This semester, I was in fact enrolled in a course that is very much integral to my development in the field and to my development of my skills necessary for me to get a job in my field. What essentially the structure of this course was a paradigm called team-based learning. Now what team-based learning is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. About 30% of our overall grade came from individual tests and assignments, and that includes the final. That being said, over the other 70% of our course, where did that come from? Well, it came from the team-based assignments, the team-based quizzes, and in fact the ways that we reviewed one another. So the way that we were sorted into these teams was we took a quiz on the first class with these little eye clickers that they charge you $100 for at your bookstore, basically on our prior knowledge going into the course, and then we were sorted based on that into a group with most likely strangers for the rest of the semester with no say in the matter. Though I do believe we were actually allowed to say not who we wanted to be with, but at least one person that we absolutely would not want to be with. On top of this, all the class time was essentially dedicated to this team-based stuff. Now get this, there were essentially no lectures in the course. I like to think that when I go into a course, there's a certain set of steps that I can follow. It might vary in the amount of time, but there's a certain path that I can follow in that course that I know will lead me to success. And in this course, there was essentially none of that. I went and asked about how I can do better on some of the problems. We got 64 on our first team-based exercise, which basically slit my heart in two. I would go to his office after and ask how I could improve next time and do better, because even if we got the algorithm 100% perfect, we were graded on things like clarity and neatness of our posters. So when I went in and kind of got that clarification on that, we were able to get like 86 on the final too, but it was a gradual step up every single time I went in there. Essentially, and that's what I mean when I say play ball. I went in there to find out what his rules for the ball game in this case were, and that was, you needed neatness, you needed clarity, and you needed, these other little ancillary things that aren't necessarily related to the core course content. But by going in there and doing these things, I was able to get a good mark overall, though the first half of the course really I did not do great in, or at least, I did great relative to probably the average, but not great relative to my own personal standards and where I wanted to be, especially in a course of this nature. So anyways, those are my structural, philosophical life lessons from this semester. And being that you probably just finished one yourself, I would love to hear yours because you owe it to yourself and probably some of your friends who help you in school to share your wisdom. So drop some knowledge on us in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys.